when the mask shifts and people see even one of my emotional features, they recoil or lose interest, so the mark stays on most of the time I am outside. For a very long time I've hated myself, thinking of myself as ugly and freaky. I had no good opinion of myself at all. I hated my weight and my body in general. I felt disgusted at myself. I hated that I sweated so much or that my breath stinks. Unfortunately, when you're told over and over that these things are a source of amusement and ridicule, then you end up believing you deserve to be treated like that. I've reprogrammed myself to understand my love of food and my comfort in food are two different things completely. The comfort element is because I was trained in keeping quiet and keeping myself busy, was rewarded or bribed with snack food and drink. Of course, this isn't an altogether bad thing, but you increase the amount I was eating as I needed more to satisfy me. Then you would joke about me being fat. What a destructive way to raise a child, especially one who will eat fruit and vegetables without any persuasion. This is how unhealthy relationships form, with things that give you a short-time good effect. I know I could have broken this habit myself, but I'm just trying to understand how to, by dissecting my reason why. You have to go deep inside to heal yourself. Mummy. When I realised I was all alone, I still waited for you to come. I'm a broken child in an adult shell. I'm fierce outside, but inside it's hell. When I called, I couldn't even hear my own utterance laden in fear. Everything I didn't think could happen, then the reality gives me a slapping. This is the gift that you gave me, built over years since I was a baby. And now I stand up, you deem me as crazy. I'm dirty and nasty for speaking with honesty. I really should seek help. You mirror yourself on me. I didn't need a friend. I needed a mummy. Productive ways to keep safe mentally. Important notice, I am going to be very blunt and very open with my own battles. At this stage, I would like to insert a quick trigger warning. This chapter may be difficult to read at points, and I would advise you to take your time in reading it. However, I will not dwell on dark details, but I will mention difficult topics. Tip 1. If you are a person who finds it hard to cope with your mental health and sometimes can feel so low that the only release is pain and thoughts of death, self-harm is something I have been plagued with for many years, and thoughts of being better off dead. Actually, since a child, I found feeling my way around negative emotions was hard and usually resulted in acts of pure rage. It started off with outward displays I would do by myself, using a pen and scrawling aggressively until I cut through the pages. I would also pull my hair and bite myself in the absence of anyone else. Scratching and pinching was other ways. As I grew older, I became aware of other ways to harm myself. It went to a dark space of self-hatred and self-flagellate. It went to the dark space of self-hatred and self-flagellated using knives and blades. I used to use the fanciful reason, if someone were to ask why I did it, that it was a release, it was... If someone were to ask why I did it, that it was to release the pain, man. The book's purpose is spreading the word on tips of how to cope with sexual abuse perpetrated by another child or young person, and how to take action against it. You see, when we send our children out into the world, we trust that people we send them to are going to look after them without any prejudice or malice. However, in a perfect world, this would be exactly what would happen. We also assume that who they spend time with are loving, caring and protective. Again, in a perfect world, that would be what was happening. The reality is most children will come across negative sexual behaviour from many different sources, and that can mean even an uncle or an aunt, or a best friend or a cousin, to name a few, could be the monster you are trying to protect your children from. So let's do some myth busting and explanation. I'm going to present you with a list of things we may believe that often get us looking at the wrong places in order to find answers. What is the difference between rape, sexual abuse, sexual assault and molestation?